30 years, the professionals at Certified Financial Group have been answering questions for listeners every week right here on WDBO on the Money. They've become Central Florida's most listened to financial call-in program, and it's the only call-in program where all of the hosts are certified financial planner professionals. As one of the largest and oldest independent financial planning firms in the area, the certified financial planner professionals have more than 400 years of combined experience providing financial planning and asset management to Central Florida families for over almost 40 years just on the airwaves. And even more experience off the airwaves, but they've been a reliable source for the WDBO listeners for almost 4 decades. Today we got Joe Bert and Charles Curry on the mic. How are we doing today, gentlemen?
We're doing great, Josh. Good to be with you. As you said in the intro, we are here to entertain calls from our listeners, as we have now for more than 30 years, talking about things that might be on your mind, decisions that you're trying to make regarding your personal finances as we guide you to and through your retirement years. We answer questions about your IRA, about a 401k, stocks, bonds, real estate, long-term health care, annuities, life insurance, reverse mortgages, all those things that Charles and I and the 15 other certified financial planners deal with day in and day out for a fee. But on Saturday morning, as the intro says, we are here for you absolutely free. The things that's on your mind, decisions that you're trying to make, things that you may have heard your brother-in-law say, things you may have heard at work that just don't sound right, things you want us to help you. If we don't know the answer, we will try to find the answer for you. So we are here this morning.
844-580-9326, 844-580 WDBO, or you can send in your question using the open mic feature inside your very own WDBO app. The topic of today's show: who pays to rebuild after a natural disaster, and how should I plan to be better prepared when disaster strikes?
Yes, Joe, in terms of today's topic, just in light of course, the tragedy there in Los Angeles has really impacted a lot of folks. And I thought about it, and I said I have clients and friends in the area that I pray for. And I thought about it from a financial planning perspective. As planners, we're, of course, always looking at how best to prepare our clients that we work with and our friends and neighbors. And between the recent fires in California and, of course, the flooding in North Carolina reminds us that we all need to prepare for the worst before it's too late. And, of course, when disaster strikes, maintaining financial security can nearly be as important as the physical security for you. And so today's topic really talks about the big questions of kind of natural disasters and kind of who pays after a natural disaster kind of strikes. And I've read some great articles in the Wall Street Journal and other financial publications that really brought some ideas to the forefront that I thought would be important to share with our listening audience.
And that was a great tease, but what we'd like to do is get the listener that phoned in here. Don't keep them on the phone. So if you want more information, and we're going to cover all these things that you need to know about listeners' call this morning, so tee it up there, Josh.
You got it. If you want to join the conversation, we got open lines. We're going to go to Ned here right now. But if you want to join in, 844-580-9326. Questions on how to get to and through retirement. 844-580-WDBO, or send in your open mic using the free WDBO app. Ned, go ahead. You're on the air with the Certified Financial Group.
Good morning, Ned.
Good morning. I've got a small flexible retirement annuity, which I can withdraw the whole amount now if without any penalties. And I'm just curious, are there any strategies I don't want to take out in one big lump sum because I want to try to avoid taxes.
Right.
I don't know.
How long have you had it?
What do you think? About 7 years.
7 years, okay. So for our listeners that might not be familiar with what you have a insurance contract that you've paid into for a number of years. Was it a single premium or was it flexible premium? You put in lump sum of money? So you put in a lump sum of money.
Yeah.
And has grown over the years. And now your question is how do you get the money out to avoid some taxes if you can?
And the other question, of course, is did you purchase that inside of a retirement account, or did you purchase that with in a taxable account?
Separate. It's a taxable. So it's not in a retirement account, IRA. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the deal is that any money that you take out on coming out first is going to be taxable to you, and of course then your principal is not taxed. And the only way to minimize your taxes is to take it out as you need it. look at what your tax bracket is and then take it up to that limit before you jump in the next tax bracket. But there's no way to really avoid the taxation of that because that is ordinary income. You've enjoyed the tax deferred accumulation on that over these 7 years. And now Uncle Sam says, okay, you've enjoyed this long enough. We want to get some of our taxes on the money that you made. Right, Charles?
Correct. And the other part around financial planning would help you figure out kind of how much can you take each year without pushing yourself into a higher tax bracket or bringing in some other different kind of taxes that you might not be aware of that are out there if your income gets too high. And as Joe was mentioning, the earnings are going to be treated as taxable income to you, and it's just looking at ways to kind of smooth that out. And of course, there's other strategies you could look at it, kind of offsetting some of your income to reduce it.
What kind of interest are they paying on your account there?
A massive 1.95.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I understand. I understand. So so unfortunately there is no way to eliminate the taxes, but you can minimize the tax hit by looking at the impact of the withdrawals that you make and how it affects your tax brackets. Not only your income tax, but ultimately perhaps are you on Medicare?
Yeah.
Okay, so it may impact your Medicare premium if you take out too much. So those are all the things that Charles and I and the 15 other certified planners work with our clients to look at the impact of doing that. And so, but those are the considerations that you have to make there, Ned.
Yeah, I know the last, Social Security increase, I did not see that because they jacked up my Medicare premium.
Right, yep.
My last...
Yeah, well, that happened to everybody. But what some people aren't aware of, if you get beyond certain levels of income, then the basic Medicare premium jumps up a whole big amount. I mean, you can have a Medicare premium up to $600 a month if you have a very high income. So you got to be careful. It's not only the annual increase that you get in Medicare, but it's what happens when your income tax bracket increases to impact your Medicare premium. So.
And that can occur when you liquidate an annuity like we've been talking about, that if that annuity is large enough and your earnings are large enough for that annuity, that could really be a big hit in 1 year that could adversely affect you, as you mentioned, Joe, with your Medicare premiums.
Yeah, and a lot of people, not a lot, but many people mess up their Medicare premiums by doing Roth conversions. Mm-hmm. Taking big chunks of money, taxable income out of their IRA, say, well, I'm going to do a Roth conversion. And they don't realize that it's now impacted their Medicare premiums dramatically. So those are things that all need to be determined before you pull that trigger and start getting that income.
Yeah, back to the power of planning, why it's important to have a financial plan and work with somebody who's a specialist in this.
Yeah, there are many qualified certified financial planners in Orlando. Be sure you're working with a certified financial planner, though, because only CFPs are required by our licensing to work with you as a fiduciary. Does that answer your question, Ed?
Yeah, just looking around for some ideas.
Okay, well, we appreciate your call and have yourself a great weekend. Let's get back to that topic, Charles, about what happens in a disaster.
Yes, of course. In terms of what happens in a disaster, when you think about kind of who pays for after a natural disaster kind of occurs, of course, the first one that we all think about is homeowners insurance. And that's one that, of course, typically all of us are required to have it if you have a mortgage. They normally have you put that in place for at least to cover the mortgage amount. What's happened for a lot of us is that our homes have appreciated pretty dramatically over the last 5 years or so, where almost all of our homes have doubled in value. The thing about it is that the homeowners insurance for some folks haven't kept pace with the new increased cost of the home. And the new increased cost of the home, in essence, you need to kind of think about the insurance and make sure that you have enough coverage for the house. Because what's occurring in California right now is that these homes are so expensive, they're being destroyed by the wildfires, that the insurance isn't going to cover what the replacement cost is going to be with all the new regulations and everything else happening there. And so from a planner's perspective, you need to look at your reserves and make sure that you have money set aside. We tell folks when we sit down and do a financial plan, you want to look at your reserves. You want to have 6 to 12 months of kind of liquid reserves, whether it's cash on hand or in short-term treasuries or CDs, where you can get access to those funds that if tragedy occurred, and you go to your insurance policy to replace your home and to rebuild your home, if, for example, say your house got destroyed and your house is worth $1 million today to get repaired, you find out your insurance is only going to cover $800,000, you're in a hole for that $200,000, and where are you going to come up with that money to pay for it? And of course, when you're having a tragedy like that, you have a lot of things that you're trying to deal with, and then all of a sudden now you got to come up with additional money out of pocket. And if you don't have the assets kind of put aside for a rainy day or for a disaster, it can be a tremendous stress on everybody involved. And that's something that the news hasn't really been talking about that much. And then the other piece, too, is with these folks who've lost their homes, a lot of them have mortgages, and that debt is still there on that home that unfortunately is no longer, but now it's on that lot.
And the debt is not forgiven.
Correct. You do have things called forbearance, where some mortgage companies will give you a pause of anywhere from kind of 3 months up to a year, where it allows you to, with a national disaster like this, or like during COVID, where it allowed you to kind of work through your finances and kind of get your feet back underneath you. But unfortunately, that debt's still going to be out there with you because it's something that you borrowed. Even though the collateral might not be there in terms of the home, you still have that lot and that loan that needs to be repaid. And that just gets back to kind of making sure that you have proper insurance coverage. And as you mentioned earlier about flood insurance, that was something that a lot of us didn't think we would need living here in Florida. And it's something that a lot of folks now are kind of looking, saying, maybe I need this. And it's important to look at all those pieces. And it's an important discussion because we've all lived here in Florida with our insurance rates going sky high. It is something that some folks say, I don't need insurance. But when you see a tragedy like we've seen, that insurance is important to have and to help you kind of get back to being financially sound again.
Yeah, people hate paying insurance premiums because you think, well, I'm never going to use this. I'm never going to need it. I write this check. Whether it's homeowners, automobile, or whatever it is, life insurance, whatever it is, you hate to pay the premium until you need it. So there we go. I hear the bumper music. Josh, take it away.
Consider it taken. 844-580-9326 is the number to call if you want to join in. 844-580-WDBO. Joe Bert, Charles Curry, 2 certified financial planner professionals with the Certified Financial Group. And if you want to join in, 844-580-WDBO, or send in your open mic using the free WDBO app. You're listening to On the Money, where we're planning tomorrow
Today
with the Certified Financial Group.
For more than 40 years, our certified financial planner professionals, acting as fiduciaries, have been providing retirement planning and asset management for a fee to countless families across Central Florida.
We've been with Certified since 1992.
We're now into the 3rd or 4th generation of clients that have come to CFG and the team here to do a great job.
It's been so long since I've been doing this that I just don't even worry about anything anymore.
We're a certified financial group, but we're planning tomorrow, today. Our fiduciary approach of providing retirement planning and investment management for a fee seems to resonate with our clients. But don't take my word for it.
I knew a gentleman that I worked with who had come to Certified Financial Group.
A friend of mine recommended them, and they were totally correct how good they are.
I had heard from somebody else that it was the best one in town.
I've sent several of my teacher friends here.
We're a certified financial group, but we're planning tomorrow, today. You may be new to the area, but we're not. For more than 40 years, our certified financial planner professionals, acting as fiduciaries, have been providing retirement planning and asset management for a fee to countless families across Central Florida.
We've been with Certified since 1992.
We're now into the 3rd or 4th generation of clients that have come to CFG and the team here to do a great job.
It's been so long since I've been doing this that I just don't even worry about anything anymore.
We're a certified financial group, but we're planning tomorrow, today. Black Monday, the dot-com bust, 9/11, and now 2 wars. We've pretty much seen it all. Acting as fiduciaries, our CFP professionals have been a steady hand guiding our clients to and through their retirement years.
No reason to be worried about anything.
Stay the course. You stay the course, and you get there.
I don't have to worry about it like I know a lot of people look at it every day. I don't have to do that with the team here at Certified Financial Group.
We're a certified financial group, but we're planning tomorrow, today. Are you tired of trying to reach your advisor through a call center and being put on hold for 20 minutes? That's why we don't use one, and our clients seem to appreciate the personal touch.
They always answer my questions and really care about what's going on with me.
You can trust what they say, and they do what they say, and it gives you a comfort feeling it's hard to find in the world today.
Waiting for you to call almost. You almost feel like that.
We're a certified financial group, but we're planning tomorrow, today.
As an investor, you want peace of mind. You need to know that your advisor is not only thoroughly competent, but also a fiduciary. In other words, he or she is acting at all times in your best interests. You need to trust your advisor, regardless of how much money you have to invest or what part of the world you're in. It might not be your money you're entrusting the advisor with. Perhaps you're a board member of a charity or foundation whose future depends on prudent investment. Or perhaps you have the responsibility of making investment decisions on behalf of other people. As the trustee of a retirement plan, the decisions you make can have a direct impact on the lives of your employees. Whatever type of investor you are, the solution is to use an advisor certified by the Center for Fiduciary Excellence. A CFEX certified advisory firm demonstrates its adherence to a global fiduciary standard of excellence, a defined standard with specific criteria covering 21 best practices. The documented, repeatable processes and the evidence-based decision-making that CFEX demands are more likely to generate investment portfolios that match client needs and expectations. And because the firm voluntarily agrees to a rigorous annual audit, investors can rest assured that their advisor continues to work to the highest professional standards. This independent verification is even more critical for trustees and investment committee members of retirement plans who are legally required to conduct regular due diligence on their service providers. Use a CFEX certified firm, and that job has been done already by an expert at no expense to the plan. So why leave anything to chance? Insist on working with investment professionals you can truly trust. Insist on using a CFEX certified advisor.
So you guys don't know Chicago, but I'm sure in your neighborhood you guys have an old school butcher where you walk in and there's a bunch of guys, no gloves, big white aprons.
On the money here on WDBO AM 580, always streaming inside your WDBO app. We got Joe Bert and Charles Curry, two certified financial planner professionals with the Certified Financial Group here on the air today, taking your calls, answering your questions. 844-580-9326, 844-580-WDBO, or you can send in your question using the free WDBO app and the open mic feature inside that. Open up that app, go to the bottom right-hand section of that app, push the open mic button, and send us your best 10 to 15 seconds, and I'll play it back live as if you're sitting in studio here with us. We wanted to go back to address an earlier caller's question, Ned, who asked about earning an income on annuities.
Yeah, Ned asked a question about the taxation of the income that he takes out of it. And at the close of his call, he mentioned that he was getting a miserable rate of return on it, and we let him go. And then Charles and I at the break talked about the different options that he has available to him. So Charles, why don't we go through some of those?
Yeah, some of the options, of course, if he isn't opposed, of course, you could look at doing a 1035 exchange from one annuity into another annuity that might be able to pay him, and we kind of know today with interest rates would pay him a lot more than what he's currently earning on that annuity that he owns today. Another option for him, of course, would be an annuity where you could set up an income stream for life where it would be paying out to him on a monthly basis, which would help him kind of smooth out that tax hit and also give him the potential for a higher kind of rate of return or higher interest rate than what he's currently earning today.
Yeah, another option is to convert it into an annuity that provide him long-term health care.
That is
and
correct.
get a multiple of whatever that annuity is worth, Ned. You can take that money and roll into another annuity, and you can use it for long-term health care when the time comes. So you have some flexibility to you. So if you don't need that spendable money today, you may want to look at using that asset in another way to fill some of those gaps in your life, whether it's long-term health care or, as Charles says, turn it into something that'll give you a stream of income. And when you annuitize an annuity, every check that comes out is not totally taxable to you. They have what's called an exclusion ratio, which calculates how much the earnings are versus how much you put in, and you only pay taxes on a percentage of it. So those are all the things to be considered. And the other thing is, if you're going to do a 1035 annuity, you work with somebody that does this with annuities that don't have the commissions attached to them, so it gives you more flexibility if you want to get out of it. So those are all the things that need to be considered in annuities. Annuities are powerful tools if you use the right way and if you use the right product. Unfortunately, they're oftentimes missold at these free lunch and dinner seminars. So that's our word of advice to Ned. And Charles, want to wrap up on the insurance, or want to come back to that after the break?
We can talk about it after the break if you like.
Yeah, let's do that. We've got a workshop coming up, and I don't remember the dates. Hopefully, you have it. You had a full house here on Wednesday. I mean, there were so many people here. They were hanging from the rafters. They couldn't wait to hear what you were talking about Social Security.
Yeah, standing room only.
You've become our Social Security guru here. Yeah, it was a great presentation. When are you going to do that one again? Do you have it on the calendar for yourself?
In the calendar, it's coming up. It's going to be probably in the month of March. I believe we already have it on the website. I don't know exactly that date right off the top of my head, but I know that's coming up here soon, and it is a very popular one. It's one that impacts all of us, and there's a lot of great information that we share. I had one person come to me after one of the workshops I presented, and he had heard about for an ex-spouse who's a widow. He told his neighbor, who was one of those, and she didn't realize that she could receive up to additional about $2,000 per month off her ex-spouse who had passed, and that's an additional kind of $24,000 she didn't know she was entitled to, because the Social Security Administration is not going to give you a call and say, oh, by the way, this is free money for you that's available. And the person that attended my workshop told her about it. She's tickled to death to have that additional income that she can travel, give some more money to her church that she didn't know she was entitled to. And that was just by coming to the workshop her neighbor did and learned some stuff that didn't realize that there's different ways to claim off of Social Security and different ways to kind of look at things.
So if you want more information about our workshops, go to financialgroup.com. That's financialgroup.com. Click on events, and you can make your reservation right there. They are absolutely free. They're up at our Learning Center up here in Altamont Springs. Hope to see you there, and I guess we're up against a break there. Josh, take it away.
You got it. If you want to join the conversation, Charles Curry, Joe Bert, answering your questions live on the air, 844-580-9326, 844-580-WDBO, or send in your question using the open mic feature inside the WDBO app. You're listening to On the Money, where we're planning today with the Certified Financial Group.
And there's Frank, and there's Stevie, and there's Mikey. And these guys know more about meat and more about animals and more about cooking the meat than any of us will ever learn. And so you walk in and you say, hey, Lou, I'm barbecuing this weekend, right? What do you like? And Lou goes to, the big racks of stuff he has underneath the glass, and he goes, the veal chops, just in from Argentina, they are the bomb. And you go, veal? Ooh, I like veal. Well, what do you got on skirt steak? Oh, we got some great skirt steak. Just came in yesterday from Montana. Skirt steak is one of my favorite, marinated up a little bit. It's fantastic. Lou will never say to you, Elliot, it's a little long on the meat here, big guy. Your cholesterol is getting high. Why don't you go down to the fishmonger a couple blocks and have a nice piece of salmon? Right? He'll never do that. Why? His job is to sell me meat, and I go in, actually the same way I go into the Toyota dealership, because I like Toyotas, and I trust the salesman to sell me a good product if I trust him. And the fact that he's got my interest at heart vis-a-vis my expectations for selling me that thing. By the same token, when I go to see a dietitian, I know she's going to look at all of my labs, she's going to take all the measurements, she's going to run all of her analysis, and she's going to absolutely give me her best thinking on what's best for me. whether she's a vegetarian or a meat lover, likes this, likes that. If she thinks I should be doing something differently, even if it's not good for her, she's going to give me an opinion that's for my interest. So what's the difference between a fiduciary and the brokers? Well, these are dietitians, these are butchers. It's that simple. Brokers are butchers selling product. Fiduciaries are dietitians looking after your health. The problem is most people think that their butcher is a dietitian. So when one of your moms or dads or friends calls the broker and says, I got 200 grand, I sold a little piece of property, or I got some inheritance, what should I do with it? They're going in thinking they're talking to a dietitian, and they're really talking to Lou the butcher.
What is a fiduciary? When it comes to investing, a fiduciary is legally required to act in your best interest. For 40 years, planners at Certified Financial Group have been guiding our local clients toward financial peace of mind. The rest of the world is still catching up, but our team of certified financial planners are the local, experienced fiduciaries you can trust. Certified Financial Group are your Central Florida planners. Call us today.
40 years ago, I had a dream of building the best personal financial consulting firm in Central Florida. Now, with 14 certified financial planners acting as fiduciaries, I believe we're there. But don't take my word for it.
As we approach retirement, we have the freedom of choice.
Peace of mind that we now have, that's everything to us.
The people that work here are honest and caring, and I feel like I can go to sleep at night.
So schedule your no-obligation visit today at financialgroup.com, or we're planning tomorrow, today. For more than 40 years, our certified financial planner professionals, acting as fiduciaries, have been providing retirement planning and asset management for a fee to countless families across Central Florida.
We've been with Certified since 1992.
We're now into the third or fourth generation of clients that have come to CFG and the team here to do a great job.
It's been so long since I've been doing this that I just don't even worry about anything anymore.
We're Certified Financial Group, but we're planning tomorrow, today. Our fiduciary approach of providing retirement planning and investment management for a fee seems to resonate with our clients. But don't take my word for it.
I knew a gentleman that I worked with who had come to Certified Financial Group.
A friend of mine recommended them, and they were totally correct how good they are.
I had heard from somebody else that it was the best one in town.
I've sent several of my teacher friends here.
We're Certified Financial Group, but we're planning tomorrow, today. You may be new to the area, but we're not. For more than 40 years, our certified financial planner professionals, acting as fiduciaries, and providing retirement planning and asset management for a fee to countless families across Central Florida.
We've been with Certified since 1992.
We're now into the third or fourth generation of clients that have come to CFG and the team here to do a great job.
It's been so long since I've been doing this that I just don't even worry about anything anymore.
We're Certified Financial Group, but we're planning tomorrow, today. Black Monday.
On the money here on WDBO AM 580, always streaming inside your WDBO app. We got Joe Bert and Charles Curry on the air today from the Certified Financial Group, taking your calls, answering your questions, helping you get to and through retirement. If you want to join in, the number to call is 844-580-9326, 844-580-9326. WDBO, or you're more than welcome to send in your question live using the open mic feature inside the WDBO app. If you're listening and you're thinking to yourself, well, I got a question, but it's a little too personal for air, or you want to call straight to the office of Certified Financial Group, or, well, the show's over and you got a few more minutes to pick up the phone and dial their office number. That is 407-869-9800. And you're going to want to do that because we have Rodney Ownby, Certified Financial Planner Professional, in the office right now, taking your calls off the air for anybody listening on WDBO right now. 407-869-9800. Let's head back to the phones live where we got Robert calling in from Chilioto. Go ahead, Robert. You're on the air.
Good morning, Robert. What's up?
Yeah. Yes, good morning, sir. Let me tell you what I know and what I don't know. What I do know is if I'm getting Social Security, but I'm working on the side, there's a maximum limit before my Social Security is penalized. Is that correct, sir?
Well, yes, it's what's called the offset. That's correct.
Right. Now, my question is, what I don't know is if I'm withdrawing from a pension fund or a 401k, is there an upper limit to where my Social Security would be similarly penalized, or is that not the case?
You got to distinguish between earned income and taking money out of a retirement account. Earned income is when you have the offset and you lose some of your benefits. $1 for every 2 up to the threshold, and $1 for every 3 in the year in which you retire. But taking money out of an IRA or 401k does not impact there's no offset. However, it could subject your Social Security to taxation. So there's a difference. The offset, they withhold some of your Social Security. The other is if you get too much income, then you'll pay taxes on your Social Security and pay taxes on up to 85% of your benefit. Not an 85% tax rate, but the benefit up to 85% will be taxable at your normal rate. Does that make sense?
Not exactly. So is there... It's a little complicated, and I was doing some reading, and I'm just as confused as the statement that I just heard. Could you clarify what the taxation on Social Security would be if I'm withdrawing from a 401k or a pension? Could you clarify that?
Yes, there is no. I think your original question was, will I lose some of my Social Security benefit if I take money out of your IRA or 401k? Was that your original question?
That is correct.
Okay, you will not, because that is not ordinary income. It's only when you're working that you have that possibility. The other is that if you have, depending on what your income is, up to 85% of your Social Security can be subject to taxation. And that's earned income or money coming out of your IRA or anything.
Okay, what would that number be approximately?
In terms of when your Social Security is taxable, are you married, filing a joint return?
Yes.
Okay, off the top of my head, do you know what the number is, Charles? Off the top of your head?
One other question for you, Robert, was in terms of what is your age today?
I'm 67.
Okay, and so you're past your full retirement age. That's a good news, because then having to continue to work while you're receiving Social Security, that offset or earnings kind of limitation you all were talking about, that goes away once you reach full retirement age. Right. So that's a nice thing.
Here's a threshold amount. Married, filing a joint return. There's no additional tax on Social Security if you're under $32,000. $32,000 to $44,000, up to 50% of your Social Security is taxable, and over $44,000, up to 85% of your Social Security is taxable.
Okay, so for me to be clear, those numbers that you're putting out is money that I'm taking out of a retirement account.
It's all of your income, no matter where it comes from.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. I think that helps clarify. I'll do some additional research, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, the bottom line is that for most people, their income is going to be over $44,000 when you factor in all of your sources of income, and up to 85% of your Social Security will be taxable at whatever tax bracket you're in.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Appreciate the call, Robert. Hope that cleared it up. And I see we've got another call there, Josh.
You got it. If you want to join in, 844-580-9326. Charles Curry live on the air. Rodney Ownby off the air at 407-869-9800. Paul calling in from Mount Dora. Go ahead, Paul. You're on the air.
Morning, Paul.
Good morning, gentlemen. Listen to you all the time, man.
Thank you. What's up?
You guys are great.
Thank you.
I have my wife has been diagnosed with cancer, and I looking down the road here. Not that I'm after money, by no means, but there's life insurance policies with payable to me, and if that money I acquire, does it affect my Social Security? Because I'm the low ball on Social Security because I did a lot of contract work, welding, and I didn't pay into it. That's where I got in trouble there.
Sure.
But
so you're asking, will the life insurance
down the road?
What you're asking is if the life insurance proceeds that you receive will impact your Social Security, either positive or negative. Is that your answer? Question? Okay. And the answer, Charles, is no.
Correct. The answer is no, because and of course we're sorry for the news that you brought up to us. Is that with the life insurance proceeds, it does come to you tax free.
Yeah, those life insurance proceeds benefits will be tax free to you, and they do not impact the taxation of your Social Security, or does not increase or reduce your Social Security benefits.
One other question: if I put the money back into the trust, would that navigating that would get me in trouble?
I don't follow your question. Put the money back into the trust.
Yeah, we have a trust here that with Edward Jones.
Okay. All right.
And if I put it in there, I mean, or just put it in the bank, would that either way?
No.
I don't know.
No, it's whatever that money then begins to earn and generate for income for you. So it's not going to increase or decrease your Social Security, but it may increase, as with the previous caller, it may increase the taxation of your Social Security depending on what that money earns. The money that you're going to get, let's say you get $500,000 tax-free death benefit. That's free and clear, does not impact or change anything. But the earnings on that money can impact the taxation of your Social Security going forward.
Oh, great. I just didn't know. I don't know. I listen to you guys all the time. You guys are something tremendous. I mean, as far as navigate stuff.
Well, we're glad to help you, and I hope that answers your question. But first of all, as Charles said, we're sorry for what you're going through with your wife there, and hopefully she'll come out okay. But at the end of the day, the money that you will get from the life insurance policy will be totally tax-free to you. What you do with that money and what it earns then may impact the taxation of your Social Security going forward.
Right. Okay. Well, I thank you for your information. I'll listen to you all the time.
All right, we appreciate the call and wish you and your wife the best, Fred. Thanks for the call. Okay. You want to go back to the insurance there, Charles?
Yeah, the last piece that I want to talk about with the insurance was just something that's important for all of us in terms of your home. Something very simple that you can do is to take a digital inventory of your house. Because one of the things that always, when tragedy hits, and of course it's unexpected, is to kind of prove that you own what you own in the house and what your belongings are. And something very simple is taking a video with your phone of your belongings would be helpful, or taking pictures of jewelry or heirlooms or stuff, so you at least have some type of record of what your belongings are. So you can have some proof to talk to the insurance company if you were to file a claim about loss of kind of belongings. The other piece was just in regards to your important financial documents. Something that a lot of folks do is they keep a file at home. But what happens if your home you have to evacuate your home quickly and you forget to bring it with you? It'd be important to have some type of digital copy of those documents in a file that you can access to if you are someplace else in regards to your homeowner's insurance, your driver's license, passports, birth certificates, all those important documents, tax returns and stuff. So those are two things that just easy things that folks can do to help protect yourself in case something might happen in the future.
And we offer our clients a portal, a secure portal, that if you want to upload those documents into your personal portal, this way you know that they're secure, they're in the cloud. Heaven forbid something happens, you don't have to be running around trying to find your documents. They're in your secure portal and available to you 24/7 around the world. So, all right. I see we got a text question float in there, Josh.
You got it. If you want to call in, 844-580-9326. Get your question answered live on the air. Joe Bert, Charles Curry, two certified financial planners from the Certified Financial Group, in-house today. Text question states, Can my stay-at-home spouse collect Social Security off my working record?
Well, that's always good to know.
Yeah, that's a great question. And the person that texted in, of course, I want to invite them to my next workshop that's coming up here on Wednesday, March 19th. That is one of the topics that we cover in that workshop, and it's an important one. The question I get, it seems like every time I have the workshop, about a spouse and can a spouse collect off the working spouse? And it is. The non-working spouse can collect Social Security benefits off the working spouse. Typically, it's up to half of what the working spouse is entitled to, so that's additional income that's available to you. And the whole idea is that Social Security, when it was created, didn't want to kind of disenchant or disenfranchise the non-working spouse, knowing that there would be someone taking care of the children and that they would have to take a step away from working. And so that's an ability there of additional income that's available to support the family.
Yeah, that's a very, very important feature that a lot of, and of course you have the widow's benefits.
Correct. The widow's benefits, that's another piece that folks get confused, that when the spouse passes away, they feel the confusion is they said, well, I'm going to continue to receive both my Social Security check as well as my late spouse's check. Unfortunately, no, you don't receive both. You're going to receive the higher of the two, and that can be a big financial hardship or burden when that spouse passes away, that all of a sudden you go from having two income streams to now having one for Social Security. But the widow does receive kind of the higher benefit of the two.
Yep. All right. Hopefully that clears that up for our texter. And I see another one floated in there, Josh.
You got it. Kevin wants to know. Kevin says, I have a teenager and want to begin saving for their future. Can I open a Roth IRA for them?
Yeah, Kevin, that's a great question. That in regards to kind of, I like that you're starting to plan and kind of plan ahead for your kids and kind of thinking about retirement and what to do for them. In regards to opening up a Roth IRA, that's a great type of savings vehicle that, of course, grows tax-free because you're using kind of post-tax dollars to fund those. The thing with the Roth, and as well as with IRAs, is that you have to have earned income. So that child needs to go out and work. Typically, it's easier if you have W-2 income to kind of prove those earned income or earned income. And you can contribute up to $7,000 of that earned income. And what I advise clients to do is, if your child works over the summer, match that income into a Roth IRA for them. And just help them save for retirement. It's amazing what compounding will do if you look at that 40, 50 years from now, what that might look like.
All right, Josh, take it away.
Thank you. One more segment. If you want to join in, 844-580-9326, 844-580 WDBO, or send in your open mic using the free WDBO app. We also have Rodney Ownby standing by off the air. If it's 10:01 and you're like, wait, I still want to pick their we have Rodney Ownby standing by. Write down this number, 407-869-9800, 407-869-9800. It just so happens to be the number you can call in for Certified Financial Group Monday through Friday as well. You're listening to On the Money, where we're planning tomorrow
today
with the Certified Financial Group.
The dot-com bust, 9/11, and now two wars. We've pretty much seen it all. Acting as fiduciaries, our CFP professionals have been a steady hand guiding our clients to and through their retirement years.
No reason to be worried about anything.
Stay the course. You stay the course, and you get there.
I don't have to worry about it like I know a lot of people look at it every day. I don't have to do that with the team here at Certified Financial Group.
We're Certified Financial Group, where we're planning tomorrow, today. Are you tired of trying to reach your advisor through a call center and being put on hold for 20 minutes? That's why we don't use one, and our clients seem to appreciate the personal touch.
They always answer my questions and really care about what's going on with me.
You can trust what they say, and they do what they say, and it gives you a comfort feeling it's hard to find in the world today.
Waiting for you to call almost. You almost feel like that.
We're Certified Financial Group, where we're planning tomorrow, today.
investor, you want peace of mind. You need to know that your advisor is not only thoroughly competent, but also a fiduciary. In other words, he or she is acting at all times in your best interests. You need to trust your advisor, regardless of how much money you have to invest or what part of the world you're in. It might not be your money you're entrusting the advisor with. Perhaps you're a board member of a charity or foundation whose future depends on prudent investment. Or perhaps you have the responsibility of making investment decisions on behalf of other people. As the trustee of a retirement plan, the decisions you make can have a direct impact on the lives of your employees. Whatever type of investor you are, the solution is to use an advisor certified by the Center for Fiduciary Excellence. A CFEX certified advisory firm demonstrates its adherence to a global fiduciary standard of excellence, a defined standard with specific criteria covering 21 best practices. The documented, repeatable processes and the evidence-based decision-making that CFEX demands are more likely to generate investment portfolios that match client needs and expectations. And because the firm voluntarily agrees to a rigorous annual audit, investors can rest assured that their advisor continues to work to the highest professional standards. This independent verification is even more critical for trustees and investment committee members of retirement plans who are legally required to conduct regular due diligence on their service providers. Use a CFEX certified firm, and that job has been done already by an expert at no expense to the plan. So why leave anything to chance? Insist on working with investment professionals you can truly trust. Insist on using a CFEX certified advisor.
So you guys don't know Chicago, but I'm sure in your neighborhood you guys have an old school butcher where you walk in and there's a bunch of guys, no gloves, big white aprons, and there's Frank and there's Stevie and there's Mikey. And these guys know more about meat and more about animals and more about cooking the meat than any of us will ever learn. And so you walk in and you say, hey, Lou, I'm barbecuing this weekend, right? What do you like? And Lou goes to the big racks of stuff he has underneath the glass, and he goes, the veal chops, just in from Argentina, they are the bomb. And you go, veal? Ooh, I like veal. Well, what do you got on skirt steak? Oh, we got some great skirt steak. Just came in yesterday from Montana. Skirt steak is one of my favorite, marinated up a little bit. It's fantastic. Lou will never say to you, Elliot, it's a little long on the meat here, big guy. Your cholesterol is getting high. Why don't you go down to the fishmonger a couple blocks and have a nice piece of salmon? Right? He'll never do that. Why? His job is to sell me meat, and I go in, actually the same way I go into the Toyota dealership, because I like Toyotas, and I trust the salesman to sell me a good product if I trust him. And the fact that he's got my interest at heart vis-a-vis my expectations for selling me that thing. By the same token, when I go to see a dietitian, I know she's going to look at all of my labs, she's going to take all the measurements, she's going to run all of her analysis, and she's going to absolutely give me her best thinking on what's best for me. Whether she's a vegetarian or a meat lover, likes this, likes that, if she thinks I should be doing something differently.
580, always streaming live inside your WDBO app. Joe Bert and Charles Curry, two certified financial planners, getting us through another great hour of financial advice. But as this hour comes to a close, I want you to write down this number and give them a call if something pops into your head. If you got any future questions, that is the number to the Certified Financial Group, 407-869-9800. Rodney Ownby standing by to take your call. Just tell him you were listening on the radio, 407-869-9800. Or maybe if you want to come into the office, you can say hi to Rodney, say hi to Charles, say hi to everybody there for some of these great workshops you guys do.
We've got one coming up pretty soon here, right, Charles?
We do. It's a very popular one, especially having to do with Medicare and making sound Medicare decisions. It's hosted by Gary here in our office on Saturday, January 25th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's called Healthcare Options in Retirement. The other workshop coming after that one is on Saturday, February 8th, also hosted by Gary, doing with tax-efficient investing and distribution strategies. And the time on that is the same, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. If either of those are of interest to you, I highly recommend you get on our website and registering for those. I know the healthcare one is very popular. I believe they have a couple seats left on that, and I would jump on it if that is something of interest to you. And, of course, these workshops are absolutely free. They're here in our learning center and our beautiful offices here in Altamont Springs. We, of course, welcome you to come join us and get to see the wonderful folks here and the great wealth of information that we have amongst the 17 CFP professionals.
Yeah, that healthcare options is, as Charles said, is really popular because when you get to be age 65 or close to age 65, your mailbox literally explodes with offers about Medicare supplements. And then, of course, you have all the commercials with Joe Namath and Pat Boone and JJ and Martha and everybody else talking to you about Medicare Advantages. Well, you need to know the disadvantages of Medicare Advantages. Gary will cover all of that and more, but as Charles said, there's only a couple of seats left. If you'd like more information, that's at our website, financialgroup.com. financialgroup.com. Click on events. They are absolutely free. People say, why do you do this, Joe? We do it for basically two reasons. Number one, to prevent you from becoming a financial casualty. And number two, to introduce you what we do as certified financial planners, providing retirement planning and investment management for a fee. And this way, whether you need our services now or sometimes in the future, you'll give us an opportunity to earn your business. And I want to conclude with Score My Funds. I saw this morning, I was on my computer and someone already submitted an inquiry about Score My Funds. It's an opportunity for you to have the quality of the investments, mutual funds or ETFs that you hold in your IRA or 401k or your brokerage account scored by the Center for Fiduciary Studies. Is what we use on a regular basis to determine what investments we want to put in our clients' portfolios and whether or not we want to change them, move them out, and make any additions or corrections. So that's absolutely free. Go to scoremyfunds.com, scoremyfunds.com. You'll put in the ticker. If you don't know the ticker, there's a pull-down menu. Put in the name. It'll give you the ticker. And within 24 hours, we will give you a detailed report, absolutely free, to show you exactly what you have and how it's scored, and whether you want to follow up on that and perhaps improve your position. That's what we do here at Certified Financial Group. So we enjoyed your being with us today, and look forward to being with you again next week. Right, Charles?
That's correct.
All right, here we go.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here on the radio today versus answering calls off air.
Typically. That's right. That's what you're normally doing. But Rodney is taking those calls at 407-869-9800, 407-869-9800.
Thank you for listening to On the Money, where we're helping you plan tomorrow
today
with the Certified Financial Group.